Hey guys, Mike here. Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection is back with a Noir November recap. Every November I do a film noir month where each day I try to watch one, if I'm lucky, two movies, and then at the end of the month I'm gonna present them to you. So this may be the third year and everything, and I usually have multiple parts, but this year I don't think I'm gonna have multiple parts. So let's get right to it, guys. One of the this is in no order or anything, but I did get a chance to rewatch this Arrow Academy Blu-ray of Too Late for Tears, which is really, really good. It's also available through Flickr Alley, through their series of restored film noir and stuff. And I actually have that copy too, because I just can't resist the bonus stuff that's on these and everything. But this is a Region B. No, actually, this is an all-region one, which is pretty cool. But it's got a lot of good extras on here. This is a movie that's got Elizabeth with an L Scott, Dion DeFore, Dan Duryea, which is why you need to watch this. Also, Arthur Kennedy's in this. Arthur Kennedy, really good actor, and somebody you end up really liking, but you just don't remember who he is or his name or anything. But it's Arthur Kennedy, and that's the way I discovered him. But this is directed by Byron Haskin, and it's really cool. I mean, it's got a lot of, has a lot to do with some money. This couple finds this briefcase full of money, and Dan Duryea finds them. And is it his money? Is it somebody else's money? But yeah, this is a great movie. You need to check this one out for sure. This was a brand new one. Excuse me, a new watch this year, but I actually got it last year and I didn't get to it. This is 1957's The Big Caper, starring Rory Calhoun. And man, this turned out to be a really good movie. I didn't expect it to be this good. I thought maybe it would just be kind of meh by the numbers and stuff, but it was really good. And the print on here is really good. This is just one of these made-on-demand DVDs that MGM did before they actually had the Warner Archive ones come out and stuff. Kind of a made-on-demand thing. But yeah, The Big Caper, very good movie. Check that one out. It is on DVD only, I think. But next up, I watched 1945's Leave Her to Heaven with the beautiful Gene Tierney. It's like a Technicolor film noir. It's like a Technicolor nightmare for Cornell Wilde in this movie, which is just unbelievable, some of the things Gene Tierney ends up doing in this movie. But sometimes people kind of consider it not so much, but I kind of just look at the scheminess of it all and stuff. So it has a lot in common with film noir, if not actual film noir. But yeah, check that one out. Next up, this was a movie I've seen a couple times, and each time I've tried to rewatch it, but on the third time now, I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. I must watch it at certain times at night where I'm just like, I fall asleep or I just don't remember it. But I got really into this one, Rope of Sand from 1949. This is directed by William Dieterich, and it stars Burt Lancaster, Paul Henreid, Claude Rains, both of them just in Casablanca earlier in that decade. Peter Lorre even shows up. And of course, this is a Hal Wallace production. He did some really great movies for Paramount, and it's got the beautiful Corinne Cavett in it. And she was a surprise because I didn't expect her, in this movie, because she's not on the front. And she's actually the girl that was in one of my favorite Jimmy Stewart, Anthony Mann westerns, The Far Country. She plays that like Swedish, kind of a tomboyish, like dressed like a lumberjack girl that's kind of like your kid's sister and stuff. That chick. But yeah, this is really good. I mean, this is really good. It takes place in like North Africa in the diamond mines and stuff. And this is right after World War II. So you got some like, Paul Henreid plays this sadistic mine boss. He runs the whole thing and all this stuff. And how they treat people that try to run away. They basically have slaves doing everything for the most part. But yeah, you gotta definitely check this one out. This is on Olive Films, and I'm not sure if it's on Blu-ray, but the DVD looked really good, in fact. Next up, here's another Hal Wallace Paramount production starring Burt Lancaster and Lisbeth Scott this time. It was said during this time that Lisbeth Scott was either married or she was dating Hal Wallace at that time, which he was probably old enough to be her dad. And he got a lot of productions started to star her, you know, something for my girlfriend basically and stuff. And he put her in some good movies and stuff, and she's a good actress. She's kind of forgotten. She's kind of got a husky, sultry voice, kind of like Lauren Bacall and stuff. And I guess if you compared the two, Lauren Bacall would probably win and stuff, but she's kind of the opposite of Lauren Bacall, where she's a little more seedier, and what's her life? And Lauren Bacall always seems like she's lit in these Warner Brothers movies where she's just like an angel or something. You know, she's not a bad girl or nothing, but in a way, Lisbeth Scott is like the polar opposite in a way or something. But anyways, this is a movie called I Walk Alone, directed by Byron Haskin, and I really like this movie a lot. I've seen it a few times now, and it gets better every time. It's got Kirk Douglas, a really good role by Wendell Corey, and basically, you know, Burt Lancaster takes the rap between him and Kirk Douglas. They're a small time gang, mafia, not mafia, but just gangsters and stuff, and he basically takes the rap. And then 10 years later, he gets out and he's expecting his cut of the pay and blah, 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 and everything. And things have changed. And old Burt Lancaster, he ain't having it. So, really good movie. I mean, you can't go wrong with Burt Lancaster back in those days, man. He really had it together. Next up, this is one of my favorite film noirs of all time, starring one of my favorite actors. This is Kansas City Confidential, starring John Payne. And he was in a lot of good film noirs and some good westerns too. But yeah, this is one where all three of them wear these masks. They don't know each other, so that when they meet, they can't tell on each other because nobody knows anything about each other. But man, it's a really good movie. It's a real good role for John Payne. He really shows his acting chops on there. Well, speaking of John Payne, here's a western. It's kind of got film noir overtones, but I really just kind of squeezed it in there because of John Payne. It's a beautiful movie actually, for Paramount and everything. But you know, and then it's got the lovely Gail Russell in it, so it didn't hurt to rewatch this one just as a little side thing. But great movie. And here's some more John Payne for you. This is another one of my favorite film noirs of all time. It's also got the great Evelyn Keyes in it, 99 River Street. And everybody should own this. That's a classic movie fan, film noir fan. You really do. It's just a great movie all the way around. I mean, John Payne he's good. He's so good in this. But anyways, this is a Kino release. It's probably gone out of print, so I would check it out and get that one. Or actually, I think this one just went out of print, if I'm not mistaken. Next up, I got one of those Flickr Alley Film Noir Foundation restorations that they've been putting them out for the past few years and stuff. So I finally picked up Woman on the Run. There's some public domain editions and stuff, but this is really nice. They went in, restored it. It's got some extras on here. It's got a real good documentary about what they had to do to kind of restore this movie after so many years, because it fell in the public domain and nobody was taking care of it. You know, it was just like an orphaned film at that point. So yeah, check that out, Woman on the Run. And this year I picked a lot of my favorite film noirs, as you can see: 99 River Street, Kansas City Confidential, and then this one, the big combo, which is really, really good, It's got one of my favorite Richard Conte performances of all time. He's just, God, I love him in this movie. It's so good. Brian Donlevy, Gene Wallace, Lee Van Cleef shows up. He's one of these, some henchmen with Earl Hallerman, Robert Middleton, and not to forget Cornell Wilde. He stars in this. I think he's a little bit better in this than he was in the other movie, Leave It to Heaven, I believe. But maybe it's just that's a Cornell Wallace performance. But anyways, big combo. You got to get that. Oh man, this is one of my favorite. This may be my favorite film noir of all time. Okay, it is. This is my favorite film noir of all time, guys. And this is a beautiful print on Criterion Blu-ray. You've got to get this. You've got to get this edition. You've got to get this. This is the be-all, end-all for this movie. Detour, 1945, directed by the man Edgar G. Ulmer, which I'm going to have an episode about him coming up soon in the next year. But yeah, what can I say about this? This is just perfection on the B-movie scale. A 4K digital restoration, and there's a good documentary showing what they did with this one just to save this one and put it together again. But man, it is so good with Ann Savage and Tom Neal. I mean, legendary performance by Ann Savage. I mean, her performance is just it just borderlines, just crazy, just perfection, man. Almost campy to a certain degree. But man, you gotta get Detour. Really good movie. And then I pulled out my what is this? My Mill Creek 50 movie collection of crime wave movies, gangsters, film noirs, all kinds of stuff that you could want, all in their B-movie glory, in their PRCs and stuff. But this is the only copy I have of DOA in this. And man, DOA, it seems like every year I watch it, and it just gets better every year. And I wish one of the bigger companies put that out, man. There's got to be working on that, restoring it or something, because it's almost as famous as Detour, I would think. But man, DOA is great. What's his name? I can't think of his name. But anyways, this guy, he's in the insurance business, and he gets exposed to some kind of radium. It's slipped into his drink or some kind of highly concentrated thing. So he ends up getting poisoned basically, and he has like 48 hours to live, or 36 hours or something like that. So during that time, he's just racing across the streets of San Francisco trying to find the guy who did this, wrap up this mystery of why all this happened and how he was involved and didn't know it and everything. So really, really good movie. DOA, Dead on Arrival. Check that out. Next up, I threw in some Anthony Mann film noirs. Two of them, and then I think He Walked by Night is actually directed by, maybe he did direct that too. I think he took over for a director, Anthony Mann, on He Walked by Night. But this is a great collection. The Roan Group, T-Men, Raw Deal, and He Walked by Night, all early film noir by Anthony Mann. I think T-Men, Raw, I think all three of these have been released on Blu-ray recently, but all separate and everything. So look those up. The cinematography of John Alton is unbelievable in T-Men and Raw Deal. Next up, this was a new watch. Haven't seen this before. This is a movie directed by Terence Fisher. This was actually made in England, and it was an American production there in England. And they got Terence Fisher, who would go on to do some of the very best Hammer movies and stuff. So, but anyways, it's called Stolen Face, and it's a first-time watch and everything. Again, we got a team up of Paul Henreid and Elizabeth Scott again. So I didn't do that on purpose, you know, all these Elizabeth Scott movies, but she just figures into a lot of really good ones, you know, and she's really famous in the film noir, you know, world fandom and everything. But yeah, really good movie. Paul Henreid is a surgeon. Elizabeth Scott. I don't want to give away the plots of these, but yeah, it's a good one too. It's kind of offbeat, like you wouldn't think, but it's because it's made in England and it's different. Because I believe, does it say on here? Crap. It was made for Lippert Pictures. Actually, it is an early Hammer film, which is odd and stuff. So it's got a lot of little things going for it, just historically. So it'd be cool to check that one out. Stolen Face. Next up, this is probably one of the granddaddies of the Film Noir Foundation restorations and stuff. And this came out a while back. This might have been the first release they put out. The Prowler from 1951. I don't even have to tell you how classic and must-see this movie is, but it is. Directed by Joseph Losey, and Dalton Trumbo wrote it. And right after this movie was made, they were blacklisted and everything. So that was like the last thing that Dalton Trumbo had his name on for a while. He did work undercover during that time period, and Joseph Losey went to England and lived and continued making movies there and stuff. But it's got the beautiful Evelyn Keyes in this, and Van Heflin is the cop who's a little too hooked on old Evelyn Keyes. But a really good movie, The Prowler with Evelyn Keyes, and then check out 99 River Street with Evelyn Keyes too. All right, guys, coming up we got another John Payne movie. This was one I actually got last year and didn't get to see it until this year. Directed by Andre de Tolf, Hidden Fear. And this is a really good movie too. Film noirish, kind of a crime type of movie, more of a mystery. Really good, but this will be one that I'll rewatch a lot and stuff. So it was pretty good. But I'll watch it a few more times, because usually with Andre de Tolf, a lot of his movies always are pretty good, solid movies and stuff. And of course, John Payne and everything. But Hidden Fear, it's a new movie. And then this is one of my definitely top 5 film noir favorites and everything. This is definitely in there. This is 1953's The Big Heat. Directed by Fritz Lang, starring Glenn Ford, Gloria Graham, Jocelyn Brando, and man, this is the one and only edition you need of this from Indicator. They've done a perfect Blu-ray edition package here, perfect in my opinion. It's got a great thick booklet. It's 2 discs. You got a Blu-ray and a DVD. Loaded with special features. I mean, this is all you need right here. Indicator knocked this one out of the park. And next up, this was a movie that I watched last year, made a video, and I believe I mentioned it a couple of times that I just didn't like it. And it just didn't sit right with me. So I rewatched it and stuff, and it's like, how did I see this before and not like it? What was I thinking? I don't even remember the right movie or something, but I rewatched this and I really love it. It's really good. Anthony Mann's Border Incident. And this was 1949, 1950. Had a pretty good hit with this. Ricardo Montalban's in it. George Murphy. Howard De Silva. Really good guy. He's a character actor. You always see him. Know his face right off. It's got Alfonso Badea, the We Don't Need Badges from Treasure of the Sierra Madre. But yeah, Border Incident. Completely wrong about it, folks. Great movie. And this is a beautiful disc, man. They really sharpened this up, cleaned up the picture. I mean, it looks great. So yeah, get that one for sure. Came out last year, Border Incident. And finally, guys, I have to always watch this one. I love this one. This is part of a 2-pack Warner Archive DVD. But the movie I'm talking about is Crime Wave. Excellent. And Decoy. Decoy is too. They're both really good. Jean Gilly stars in Decoy, and she was a famous stage actress from Britain. And she only did a few movies, and this was one of them. But Crime Wave is the one. Sterling Hayden, what's his name? Gene Nelson, Phyllis Kirk. It's got Charles Branson as this hood guy, and he's just like, he's stealing cars, and he's just, I mean, the birth of like the Charles Bronson we love is like, he's right there, growing in front of us, becoming who we go on to love in all those movies and stuff. But man, it's a great movie, Crime Wave. It's a nice black and white widescreen movie. Really, just really good. So underrated. And then it's directed by Andre Detoff. So see, there you go. You can't go wrong with Andre Detoff. I'm telling you. But anyways, guys, there you go. That's what I watched during November, my Noir November for 2024. So I hope you guys like that. Make sure you write down some of the ones you are interested in so you don't forget, and pick those up, because some of those I believe are going out of print soon. Make sure you comment and give me a big thumbs up, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this episode and want to see more like it. So until next time, guys, I will see you. Take it easy, and always watch your back on those dark city streets.